Hello everyone, welcome to Cellopedia. This is Maxim. Today we will work on the etude number 17 from Dotzauer 113 exercises. I will play it for you in the original tempo and also in much slower tempo, which will allow you to play alone, to copy things you like, improve your technique as much as possible, and then get ready to your performance or audition. And for those of you who are interested to hear a few tips how to work on this etude, wait till the end of the video when I will dedicate a few minutes to talk about that. And if you have some tips how to work on this etude, please share them in the comments to this video. Let's tune and start working. As I promised, here are a few tips how to work on this etude. First, let's talk about shifts. This is very melodic etude, and you have to choose the proper technique for your shifts to be in the same style as this music. In order to play every shift in this etude, not just precise, but with a beautiful sound, I would encourage you to go over every shift playing it slower and making sure that you hear how you make the way from one note to another. In other words, you should hear a slide, glissando. Here is the way I would work on the first two measures. Every time you hear the slide between two notes, you can control the movement of your left hands, not by looking at it, but by hearing where your finger is. And once you hear that it's approaching to the target spot, you can slow it down and stop exactly at the precise spot you need to. And after you spend time working on every shift like this, you can try it in a faster tempo. And I'm sure your precision will go up. And you will end up playing like this. But regardless of the tempo, there is still tiny moment of slide. And I trained myself to listen to that, and I never worried that I might miss the shift. Now let's talk about accents. The first impulse when you see the accent is to play digging into the string, making it quite harsh and loud. And it might work in more aggressive music, but in a melodic etude like this, you can actually choose a different way to make those accents. You need to try playing every note with the accent with a bit faster vibrato, and also you need to increase the bow speed to start each note which you have to play with the accent with a faster bow speed. And if you're not comfortable yet with increasing the speed of vibrato, you can definitely try faster bow speed. This technique will require you to experiment a lot. Play it a number of times, starting at least from the previous note, and then look what's happening with your right hand. Try to be sensitive to the vibrato speed, and you will find the perfect balance. And you will be amazed that you can still make those accents with a different technique compared to the common way of making note louder by digging into the string. Yet another important thing to talk about is bow distribution. When you master bow distribution, you will be in control of beauty of your sound and dynamics. Another benefit of that, you will be able to play with a long phrase without stopping between the bow changes just because you run out of the bow. And you have just to remember about basic rule. Try to save as much bow as possible playing the first note of the bow. And it is even more important when you have to make crescendo. Then you will need even more bow to spend for the last few notes. And let's use first two measures as an example. If you spend too much of the bow for the first note, you will end up in a situation like this. You see, that made me to actually make a diminuendo towards the end of the bow. So it goes opposite to what Dotzauer wanted us to do. Prepare your bow, make sure you will get perfect contact between the bow and the string, and try to use slow bow speed. It will be such a relief for you to know that you have plenty of the bow to make a crescendo. And the last thing to point out is the way you make string crossings. In this example, you will have to start on the C string, and go to G, D, and then eventually to A string while using the same bow. If you don't adjust the bow angle, some of the notes will not be as clear as you want them to be, or will even squeak. I started with the bow angle, which works the best for the C string when my bow is turned this way towards me, and then gradually change the angle of the bow. And when I end up on the A string, my bow angle was quite different. If I wouldn't adjust the bow angle, it would work this way. You can clearly hear the difference, and that would be the price of the mistake. If you do it opposite way, if you start on the C string with the angle suitable for the top two strings, then your lower notes will not sound good. Neither way will work well. Pay attention to that and spend time paying attention to your bow angle. I hope those few tips were helpful to you. If you need more material to study with me, please check out my cello courses. And if you use a link in the description, you'll get a special Cellopedia discount for the courses of all levels. Thank you for tuning in. Stay well, play cello, and see you again.